are men going to reach their full climax?
Are they?
Yeah, they will, but there will be no.
So where is
How?
it going?
Okay, how?
Where is it going then?
I think you should just drink it. Anyway. Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to Gibber and Rish TV. I am Gibber.
I'm Rish.
And today is a very special day, very wonderful day because you're featuring the Mosnah family. So I want them to introduce themselves.
Hi. I'm Nash.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Moses.
What do you guys do?
A lot of things.
For instance,
Uh-huh.
which one do you do?
For instance, what do you do?
Like example.
So, content creators. We are content creators. We have our own YouTube channel.
And TikTok.
The Mosnah family. Oh, she's a TikToker.
Mosnah at Mosnah 12 TikTok.
Yeah. So basically, I do most of photography and filming. Yeah.
Yeah, tunaweza sema nyinyi ni influencers.
We are coming there. We are growing.
We know people, guys. We know people.
Yeah, connections muhimu.
We have connections.
Go to YouTube, look for Mosnah family. Gonga hiyo kitu, yani hiyo subscribe button and yeah, turn on that thing, whatever it is.
Yes. So today, because we are here with the Mosnahs and their family, we're going to discuss very familiar topics, especially issues concerning the brackets of relationships or the brackets of gender. We're going to discuss surrogacy,
Yep.
sperm donorship, abortion, and what else?
Vasectomy, my thing. So today Nash is going to be our host.
Yeah. So karibu sana, enjoy. Karibu. So who is going to start?
Where do we start first?
Where
of
do
all?
we start?
Yes.
Like, what do you think it's kwa hizi zote, which one is the underlying issue?
Abortion.
Is it should it be a thing?
The issue is, should we legalize it?
Yeah, should be.
From one personal perspective, I really don't support abortions to be legalized. Although, now, okay, I'll contradict myself. Let me just have my firm stand. I don't support. I wanted to give an although, but there are some instances like rape cases. Maybe you want to save the mother. In such kind of scenarios, I guess that's the time you need to give a go ahead. But basically, I don't think abortion should be something legal, since it's taking away life at the end of the day. Yes.
Nash?
For me, I totally don't I don't want even to hear about abortion. I don't want it to be legalized. Yeah, it is just a bad thing to me. Abortion, apana.
Oh, the devil's advocate.
Mr. Who is going to surprise us today?
No, of course, yeah.
It's a Sunday, kumbuka.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, and
I know it doesn't matter in your dictionary, but
it's the day
it's
people
our
worship
day.
the sun god, so no difference. Anyway. So abortion should be legalized, especially everywhere. They should make abortion safe for every person that wants to do it. They should not, like, there are people who have died because of unsafe abortion practices, and saying that abortion is taking away life is just not making sense. Life begins when the embryo turns to a baby. So if it's a zygote or a fetus or whatever it is, that thing is not living. It's just the same. It's like saying people should stop blasting the rock because they are killing babies or something. Anyway, stop looking at me like that. I did not know. So the reason why I think abortion should be made safe is to save. If at all you are trying to save
safe
life,
or legal? Okay, legal. When it's legal, it's safe.
Yeah, if it's legal, it's safe. The only reason that it's unsafe is because it's illegal. So people are doing it huko chini ya maji, and that's why people end up hawajui where to go for who to consult, and it's even more expensive when it's illegal because people charge exorbitantly for the price that people could pay a very small amount and get that thing
How
done.
do you get to know that?
Because I have studied. I've even talked to some illegal practitioners.
That's do abortion.
Yeah.
But I'm at that point you said life begins. Okay, a zygote is not alive. It does not have any
It's
life.
not a living thing.
But you should understand that life starts at conception.
Yeah.
Immediately, the man and the woman, yes, the chemistry happens. Immediately that chemistry happens, and she conceives. That's when life starts. So for me, as I got also as a life,
Let me ask you, Moses.
Yes.
Have you ever eaten a fried egg?
Yes, I have.
Do you think that the omelette is the omelette is the equivalent of the embryo in a human being? Do you think the chicken deserves a chance to bring up the babies in as much as humans deserve?
Is it fertilized?
It is when it's becoming.
No, when is it fertilized?
The chicken fertilizes internally, and then the thing matures. It just breaks from the egg when it's fully mature, right? And it can walk and all that. It's already fertilized. It's a living thing inside the egg, all right?
Yes,
Yeah,
already there's life.
Why
There's
are
life.
you eating living things? So
Because I'm not a vegetarian. Yeah, so if I could have been a vegetarian,
the point is,
yeah.
humans like to think that their life is so special, and the other creatures are not. So in essence, the same way you take an omelette and eat the yolk or whatever it is the same way you should view the human fetus. That thing is not.
No.
I'm trying to understand. Is he a vegetarian? You don't eat
He's
meat.
not.
I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm just trying
meat.
to bring it.
Then you are also
I
eating
do.
animals which are innocent.
Exactly. That's why I don't believe that
Mm-hmm.
an embryo is more special than an egg.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand, like, in every living being, there's a definite process that is different from others. For an egg, for a chicken egg, even in its compound, when you crack it, you can't even notice that there is fertilization that has occurred. But as pregnancy goes on, you can have the first heartbeat at between 5 to 8 weeks. So there is no way we can say life starts at birth, and yet there is constant evidence, approved evidence, factual evidence that indeed an zygote, while it is being multiplied, your form 3 thingy na multiply, there is like, and even if at your multiplication, it's a process, and by itself it's life.
It's okay. Let's assume for one that I buy your story that thing is alive. Okay, it's alive. It's a living thing, right?
Thank you.
Because it's fertilized
End
and
of
stuff.
discussion.
Why do people want to do abortions? Why? What are the situations?
We should start from that.
What are the situations that lead people to abort? One, say you were raped, all right? And for a weird reason you did not take the pre-exposure prophylaxis. So
Prep.
Prep.
prep, whatever.
Oh, say prep.
So if you did not take the prophylaxis and
Say prep, bro.
the prep things, I don't know those things, and that thing matured, or you have AIDS and you don't want the baby to have AIDS, you prefer abortion, right? In that case, it would be logical to abort,
It's
right?
logical.
Is it logical?
Yes.
Do you agree?
But it's not the right thing to do, but it's logical.
It's logical.
But biblically wrong.
Yeah, logic. Apparently,
No.
logic and the Bible.
Where? Don't
Anyway,
start.
so that is an instance, all right? The other one is people messed. They did not want to have a baby, but things happen, right?
But who gives babies?
Yeah, like oops.
Who gives babies?
Who gives babies?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
God.
very weird question. It's the
It-
sperm fertilizes the egg and babies
Hey.
become.
No, you see, it is God who has blessed them with a baby. So you can't just decide, I'm going to throw this away. That's this God's masterpiece we are talking about.
All right. It's
Blessing.
okay. It's okay. Let's just work with the first instance, all right?
Yes.
God did not bring that baby because it was rape, all right? So God was like busy in the kitchen, and then the devil chose someone to rape. Anyway, that's a very weird analogy. So in case this person decides to abort to prevent the baby from getting AIDS, all right?
Mhm.
Where can they get the abortion services in Kenya right now? It's illegal to do that.
Even in that bracket, even not, because I know there's the bracket of rape,
But
incest,
Shalom, if
of-
I might interrupt, right now you can still give birth to a negative baby even though you're positive.
yeah.
But see,
It is possible.
if you give birth to a baby as a result of rape, that's a constant reminder of a negative thing. You live guilty forever. You want
but
to even
don't
kill that thing when
forget.
it's born. You want to strangle it.
But people raise children like
Yeah,
single
they
mothers.
forget.
There are those who are deadbeat fathers. I mean,
You have to,
But in that aspect is the fact that it was whoops,
Yeah, it's a oops
it
baby.
happened. But now for rape, maybe because most instances happen to maybe girls who are just completely oblivious, say to the indecent, which is very wrong to think because a woman has dressed a certain way, you are entitled to her body. Very wrong. Yani, she's not even in, let me say, sexual element. She's not, there was no consent. And I think even like termination of pregnancy under that bracket is logical, because like this wasn't hata kama ime happen, whoops, it was like, so you were there at that moment and you were consenting. So if it happened, you knew like there was a possibility that this would happen. But not for rape or
exactly.
incest,
you could have prevented.
you can't prevent rape.
Sometimes
No, as in I'm saying,
Mm.
once you are raped, what's the right first thing to do?
What if that
Go to
doesn't
the
happen?
hospital.
To happen.
there are people who are
Who are
But
very far from hospital facilities. Like, if you go to
but
the
then even
remotest
there
place.
is also very bad abortion, whatever.
So if this thing was safe, all right, and there are such cases, and this, if you accept what's good for the gander should be good for the goose and all that. If you accept that one to be the case for the rape victims, you should also allow those people who don't want to keep babies. You're like, why are you forcing me to have a baby? Kill that
Yeah.
thing.
I hope this one doesn't sound very offending to your viewers outside there. I'm going to use vulgar language. I saw
PS discretion is advised.
yes, please, PG.
PG-15.
Yes, I saw someone quote, if okay, terminating a baby, you're calling it abortion. Okay, if you're saying abortion is legal, then you should say swallowing sperms is cannibalism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
Exactly.
okay, from that point of view, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's why I was telling her, if you're going to say that terminating pregnancy is abortion, it's illegal, it's a bad thing. Even those who masturbate are murderers.
You guys, you're completely going outside the topic.
oh, no, but you see
That's
there,
correct.
okay, my argument was it is not cannibalism because conception hasn't happened.
Yeah.
My issue was as conception happened, that's where now
I think that's where the line is drawn.
Who made you the moral judge? Who gives you the moral authority to draw the line? Who tells you that a sperm is not valid in its own, an ovum in its own, but if they come together, that's when they are valid?
Because
Fertilization.
other things are happening in your body, in our bodies, naturally. But when it is fertilization, like fertilization has occurred, it is a dude and a chick and the brackets of consent. That's not a process, like that's not a natural process, but it is a naturally induced process, you see.
So assume I am the source of the sperm and you're the source of the ovum, and the thing has happened and we consent to terminate. Could it be assumed that I've chosen to end my thing, you've chosen to end your thing, so we end the thing together?
Well, termination, okay, termination comes when fertilization has completely occurred. But before it happens, kuna other things you can
Yeah,
do,
it's true.
like those
Contraceptives.
Yeah,
thingies.
meanwhile,
Yeah.
people should just use condoms and just avoid premarital sex. It's gross.
Yeah, abstain.
It's very gross.
Abstain, fellas.
It's very gross. We don't do that here. Whoa.
Please.
We don't do that.
Yes.
Chill, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the chill. Remember those days? We chill.
Chill.
Mm.
Vasectomy. What do you think of vasectomy?
Vasectomy. Well,
You know, if you start, this vasectomy, even abortion is not a touchy topic. Some will say it's being talked about. Vasectomy. Hey, you talk about it and then unaona. Suddenly the set is hot.
exactly. Well, if my partner decides to approach me one day and says they want vasectomy, I'll deny
Please
because
zoom
of
in
two.
here.
Oh yes, she's right here.
Zoom in here.
She's right here. I'll deny because of two reasons. One, there's procreation. I guess that was the intent of man. You're meant to procreate.
Every animal.
What if I was the last person on earth?
We are not.
How would I multiply these are anything can happen. I could be the last person
Why-
here and I've already done the vasectomy. You see?
You have kids.
Why are you using hypothesis in a real case scenario? You're not the last person on earth.
Yes.
I think for us antinatalists, it's okay to
It's okay,
do
you-
your vasectomy thing because,
Right now.
yeah, anytime you want.
Ah.
Yeah, even as a 15-year-old boy, 15 you cannot make consent. Once you hit 18 and you're sure you don't want to have kids,
You can't be sure.
you will
at
not
18,
hit
you
35
guy.
and start saying, I wish I did not do that. But if you're sure it's okay, you go ahead and have that duct separated.
Me, I
It's
first of all, it seems very painful.
It's not.
Secondly, okay, I won't ask
It's
that.
not even more
But will
painful
you
than
get
circumcision.
pleasure? Okay, I'm trying to think because for us men, at the end, like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, men we are meant to climax. So are you going to climax?
Women.
you
No, I know. I'm saying also, of course, even women. I'm trying to ask myself, with the thing duct cut, are men going to reach their full climax?
Are they?
Yeah, they will, but there will be no.
So where is
How?
it
Or how?
going?
Okay,
Yeah,
how?
how?
Where is it going then?
I think you should just drink it. Anyway,
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Wait,
We hope some part of this will be cut. Eh?
Yeah.
If it is too bad,
behind the scenes,
we will.
behind the scenes,
It will be put
we have to
aside.
cut some of these things. Sexual pleasure is the question here, right?
Yes.
Where do you derive the pleasure from? If
Can I give an example?
yes,
It's like the same case with FGM. Once they cut out everything from the lady, so
That's what
the lady will never, and then they shona.
it's gross.
So that once you'll become a real virgin. So that even getting periods is very
Cameraman
difficult.
is
I got to I got to cover a story of a lady saying even having periods was difficult because like you can see when they're bleeding. So you have to go and thread it again. You bleed. Then so at the end of the day,
this topic is
You should
I
stop.
know I was also holding my things that time. So at the end of the day, this lady will never reach a climax. She never be satisfied. So this is the same case with
No,
vasectomy.
for men, we have already been mutilated. Male genital mutilation has been there since the days of Jesus Christ of Nazareth through circumcision. And we don't like that thing because it makes us not sensitive. But now, the absence of
The duct.
the male gonads or the spermatozoa does not mean that you will not have sexual pleasure. You will.
So will a man ejaculate? We should ask a
big
doctor.
question.
There are people who ejaculate nothing. Have you not heard of people who ejaculate nothing? And the pressure. You should know people are very different.
So
This is
this
just
supply
very
of
weird.
air, it has been a thing.
This discussion is
It's creeping
Going.
me out, bro.
going nowhere.
Wait, I'm also hearing this for the very
It's
first time.
same.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
this
you
whole
should-
thing
you
is
should-
just
you should
new.
know people. But anyway, if you want vasectomy, do vasectomy. If you don't want it, if you want to,
No, because this
Get
has been a male's discussion.
Yes.
let's go to your
Naturally.
thing.
Guys,
Before
for
we-
me, I have a son at home and akinaomba Mungu, please, Israel, ukiona hii video, don't do it, please. I want grandchildren.
Yeah, okay.
I think like okay to know it's these things. It's for instance if you're like a couple and umefika point and you're settled and you're already thinking about having kids and you're having them, I think it should be like a discussion between the two of you.
Exactly.
Because most of the time, according to the movies I've watched, like it's probably, and the reality shows I've watched, it's probably the woman who has asked the man because they had no idea, and then suddenly they're just pregnant, and then there's just so many babies coming. And then,
Blessings.
yeah, there's so many blessings coming that it's a little bit too much for their finances.
What is the equivalent of vasectomy in the female? What is it?
Female
I don't
planning.
think so.
Female planning things,
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
It's the same thing, right? So
But see, vasectomy is like the long term.
yeah, vasectomy is long term.
Vasectomy is long term, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think you can
because
compare.
you know men don't reach menopause and all that stuff. So
Biological clock. Sure.
so if your man is giving you babies like rat,
I mean, there are so
That-
many
that-
ways. This one should be a discussion for another day. There is withdrawals. There is there's some people who can use contraceptives, but I wouldn't advise. I'm seeing even young girls having the implants and so on. But I do think it will have implications later on when they're trying to get babies. So it's something still. Contraceptives is still another issue that is being discussed still to date. At what maybe time should you maybe start using the contraceptives? But for us men, just use condoms.
all right.
And moving on swiftly, so the topic was sperm donorship and surrogacy to handle at the same bracket because of time. So what is your opinion? Like, okay, recently Wali they came up with eggs harvesting or something. Like for a woman, now the way sperm donorship was happening now, it's now
The ovaries.
ovaries. Is it the ovaries or the ovums?
Ovums, yeah.
Like they're harvested and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's surrogacy where if you have problems with your
Woman.
yeah, you ask someone else to carry,
the
but
baby,
then quite expensive. That's what
true.
I've heard. And according to what I've also seen on movies, is there a law? Is there a law here is even in Kenya, especially surrogacy? Because I know sperm donorship is like people are actually
Doing it, yeah.
doing it and they are getting money. When you're trying to donate blood,
Wait, where?
but it doesn't. The thing is, hata kama you donate, it doesn't make you a father.
True. But it will
It's
make
okay.
you a millionaire.
Make you a millionaire.
Yes.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
For real, you paid millions.
Yeah, you get. It depends with what you're offering. If you're offering genes, offering or talent. If you're
Wow.
an athlete, and so there's
So
so many,
you donate with your CV.
yeah, people look
Ah.
for,
They look at
yeah,
your
people look at your
portfolio.
profile. They want, yeah.
But surrogacy is a sin.
Yeah,
Maybe they
Yeah.
are not
requirements.
your health.
Yeah, your health, if you're capable of carrying the baby.
But hiyo ni law kweli here in Kenya,
Yeah.
because in US there is a certain law yenye even if maybe I rent out my room, there is a certain period of time the baby is mine. Or unless I don't know if I say okay ni according to another movie ya Tyler Perry.
So ni udaku.
So ni udaku, but some movies they're just a reflection
Yeah,
of
reflection of what's happening in society.
But I can really run with this law. Like the child is technically yours until you hand him or her over. So
But you do understand the G's are not yours.
they are not you. By the way, they are not
They're
yours.
not
You
yours.
just rented the room.
Yes, the G's are not yours.
It's not your woman. It's not your
Okay, the issue now comes into the identity of the mother. Like I carried this baby for 9 months, but it's not your ovum.
And then the hormones thing.
Yeah. So like when the mother is carrying a baby, the baby depends on the mother for food supply, nutrition, and all that. So this mother has been part of the process of the growth of this baby, and of course, tunasemanga uchunga uchunga naye
Mwana.
Yeah,
Mwana.
ajua mtoto.
Stop it. Get some help.
Si
I
ndio?
join mama.
Yes, that one now. Like you go through all the labor pains only to give out the baby. So sometimes there are those hata kama nilipata pesa, because you know mothers get attracted to the babies. Actually they do talk to babies. Unaona?
The babies can.
Unasikia usiku mtoto anataka kukula fried chicken. Mtoto amesema leo lazima nilale kwa kisiagi huko Western. So
These are weird fetishes.
so unless it is lie, I do feel there's a connection between the mother and the child. So now it comes now to giving it back. That's when now the constitution now needs to
stipulate.
yeah.
But I don't think hizo vitu hata ziko
Okay,
ziko
Kenya
well
ni
detailed kwa sababu I think hatuja bado embrace it.
Jafika
As a
hiyo level
culture.
as a country.
But me, I'd actually,
People are
like,
still
if I had
shunned.
money, I'd get two.
No, you know, we live in a society where people are still thinking
that
that
thing looks painful, bruh.
people still think
I
that
want kids, but I don't want to pain. And I also don't want to be limited to 3 kids. And I also don't want to put myself in a bathtub so as to, Mungu, give me money. Give me money.
But then I feel you not have undergone through the whole process of motherhood
but still that
because
pain
motherhood the
show.
best part is
The
having
feelings.
feeling those kicks.
Oh yeah.
The baby growing.
You'll miss out on so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now you guys are making me change my mind. Oh.
So in a society where people are still shunned upon if they cannot get kids, people think it's witchcraft, and there are people who still think it's a curse from God if you're not getting kids. I think we need to embrace science more, and if you can
Logic.
afford, not logic, get out of here with your
I'm
logic.
saying logical science.
Yeah, okay. If you can afford to get a surrogate mom, afford to pay them, go do that. If you don't want more kids, if you've gotten 3 kids and you don't want more, go get a vasectomy if you're a guy. Or if you can control your things without the vasectomy, well and good. All right?
Yeah.
Everybody should be given freedom to choose what they want in this life.
May I have another question? Like now, if you've now donated your sperm, is there like one point in your life, like, and then like, is there like one point in your life you realize you are a father, or okay, you know you're not fathering the baby, you're just lending out help.
Yeah.
But you see, there's that like moral dilemma yenye my seed is somewhere in the world running its business with another family.
But you took the money.
I don't think so.
You just move on and it's done.
I do speak
If you ever meet someone, na sasa if your child, if now your child, the one you've raised, falls in love with that person,
It's okay.
I will make a soap out of that.
It sounds interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
About a guy who went and gave out his sperms, then later on, yeah.
But Nigeria washafanya hiyo
Yeah,
movie,
it's okay.
nisha watch.
Yeah.
Then happily ever after.
No.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
Yes.
And then they
Everybody has
realize
been
that
killed.
Okay, for me, I can, if I can say my part in short on that, surrogacy, I guess, it's still viewed the same case as euthanasia, whereby it's all not anything that contradicts God's order of nature. We don't consider it to be the moral thing to do. Like for example, euthanasia, whereby you terminate someone's life maybe because tunaona amekasana kwa hospitali, bills and all that. But at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, it's not God who has taken away his life. It is us who have decided to do that. Same case to surrogacy. Maybe from science point of view, yes, it is helping, but God had a reason as to why this woman maybe could not be able to bear a child, or maybe if you are able to do so and you decide to pay someone else, I guess that is trying to contradict God's order of creation. So in a way also it's going to get very different opinions of the same. Yeah.
Nash, your part in short.
For me, I think it's okay for surrogacy because maybe we have ladies that really want kids, but they are barren, like it's not their fault. they just found themselves like that. So you find this lady, she's very desperate, she wants a baby, then she has money, she can pay that person to carry the baby. So for me it's fine, because that baby will make her happy and complete.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
For me, I think it is very important to know that God is not stupid.
True.
That
Preach, sister.
you know, I think that God knew as the world progresses, he knew that he would meet these things, or he foretold that these things are there. And I think before making any decision, a life-changing decision.
For watching Gibber and Rish TV, this is a very controversial topic. We'll be doing more controversial topics like this in the near future. Subscribe, like, hit the button, subscribe to Mosnah family, and
Shout out to Gerenuk Studios.
shout out to Gerenuk Studios.
Gerenuk.
Those guys are the bomb.
Salute.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bella ciao, Bella ciao,
Bella, ciao, ciao, ciao.
Telling you, let me ask you another thing.
They call my dad.